Fortnite is dying. PUBG has been on its last lifeline for a long time. It's basically the game equivalent of walking into a Russian bar where dudes rock the classic skinhead buzz cut, are decked out in Adidas, and drive a barely tuned Golf GTI. Maybe I'm thinking of Tarkov. Anyways, H1Z1? To be honest, I think Bill Cosby's prison sentence lasted longer than that game's popularity. Warzone is basically only enjoyable if you like blowing your McDonald's or 7-Eleven paycheck on skins that basically look like somebody vomited on a gun. Or maybe you're just a simple man who enjoys spending his days getting owned by a pack of 12 to 14-year-olds who pound G Fuel almost as often as they talk about pounding your mother, even though they've probably never touched a girl in real life. So, how did we get here? Just 4 years ago, Fortnite came onto the scene and became one of the biggest gaming hits of all time. Now, Fortnite certainly wasn't the first Battle Royale game, but it was the most successful and brought the genre into the living rooms of children everywhere. Well, at least videos of other people playing it anyway. Fortnite succeeded because it was a revolutionary game in that it seemingly was open to everybody. Not your average first-person shooter, Fortnite required more strategic planning, more Mountain Dew, and certainly a lot more yelling. As in more yelling than a toddler in a restaurant or on a plane. Fortnite's popularity can be largely attributed to the fact that it was free to play, came around about the time when live streaming was really taking off, and included very relatable skins and dance moves that are guaranteed to attract almost any female, as well as a fedora or maybe showing off your action figure collection or even your Pokemon collection. It was a game that transcended boundaries. Celebrities played it, athletes played it, even people who didn't want to play it played it because it was just that popular. Fortnite created some of the greatest streamers that we know today and even propelled some to superstardom. It was a wake-up call to the industry that people are into Battle Royale games. The gaming industry more than heeded the call, and soon, everywhere you looked, there was a Battle Royale game. Battle Royale games spread faster than chlamydia at a frat party, with many being carbon copy ripoffs of successful ones. We got Battle Royale in VR, Battle Royale on the PC, Battle Royale on the console, and even though nobody asked for it or wanted it, we got Battle Royale on the phone.
I don't play on my phone!
Now you can start playing some Battle Royale while you're, sitting on the bus, or you can play Battle Royale while you're just waiting there with life just passing you by, just start grinding on. God, why did we need Battle Royale for the phone? It's safe to say Battle Royale games were everywhere, and for good reason, since a lot of people loved playing them, or watching other people play them. But after a while, that began to change. What happens when you have lobbies with over 100 people, all competing to see who has gone the longest without a female touching them? Be the last one alive. Other than anger issues and a tendency to start drinking cheap beers and yelling at your mom as you're clocking in your 10th hour of gaming while peeing in a bucket.
Icy Vixen accused of cheating in the tournament and accused of using aimbot and wall hacks.
Miss Q Gemini tried to cover up her blatant cheating, and no player has ever been more humiliated than Nikhil Forsaken Kumawat. When it was pointed out, Forsaken unbelievably batted their hands away and tried to delete it in front of their eyes.
Cheating. Lots and lots and lots of cheating. Giant flaws within the games became apparent as a lot of people, including big streamers, began to exploit advantages that made a game that was already really difficult to be good at even more difficult and exclusive. But the illusion of accessibility really showed itself in the learning curves it took to be able to play these games at a level where you could at least feel like you can now show off to your friends at the back of the bus while they tell fart jokes. Basically, you would need to sink in hundreds of hours if you want to be able to write semi-professional Fortnite player on your Tinder profile. Essentially, the biggest thing driving away casual players as well as people first trying these games out was the steep learning curve. If, God forbid, you have a job that's not just working weekends and in and out and you get more than 30 minutes of sunlight a week, there was a huge chance that 90% of the lobbies you were dropped into were filled with sweats who can build a 50-acre castle before you could even cycle through your weapons. It's just not fun when you spend your first 10 hours in a game repeatedly dying after 30 seconds to some kid saying he's going to skullfuck your entire female lineage or ancestors. To become halfway competent at games like these required hours and hours of playing and grinding. This caused a lot of casual players to turn away from games like Fortnite. Games like Warzone never really appealed to an audience outside of those interested in FPS games or protein powders. From the outside, some people who weren't really into FPS games would try it out for a few days or even weeks, but soon came to realize that they'd need to start stripping on the weekends just to be competitive against all the sweats they go up against in every lobby. Those who were into FPS games felt right at home with the typical COD mechanics, gameplay, incredible hit detection, and gun mechanics. One of the most annoying things was that Warzone was unoptimized for so long that even people with a 3090 felt like they were playing on a potato's anus with some of the frame rate drops. The makers of Warzone tried to keep things fresh by introducing different game modes, seasonal goodies, and limited edition achievements. But none of these tackled any of the issues at the heart of the game, and these were issues that were important to a lot of people, myself included. So in conclusion, Battle Royale games are dying, especially Fortnite, and hopefully really soon, the phone ones are going to be dying out soon. So what are the 14-year-olds going to latch onto next? I'm curious, honestly. Thanks so much for watching the video, guys. Please make sure to smash that like button and then smash that subscribe button. I'm going to be coming out with some fire videos here almost every week, so turn on notifications so you can tune in.